Hello and welcome to an episode of Drinking the Kool-Aid. This is a comedy podcast dedicated to the mysterious. My name is Cassidy.
My name's Amanda.
And we're here in bright, sunny, beautiful Southern California today.
Yes, we are reporting at you live.
Live a week late.
Yeah, not really live, but we can pretend.
Yeah, we record like 5 days before they release typically. And so it is funny. Sometimes people will be like, can't wait to hear you talk about this week. And I'm like, we already recorded the episode 2 days
I'm
ago.
like, oh, you mean the thing that happened on Monday?
Yeah.
Ugh, you're going to have to wait till next week for that.
We're in the past. I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. We are in the past.
We are.
Sucks here too, if you're wondering.
It really does. Past, present, and future.
I hope it's feeling good out there for you guys today in the future.
I also hope that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe the bombs have already been dropped at this point, and this is broadcasting out to a wasteland, a la, or what is that show? Fallout.
You have to do this to me every time, huh?
Yeah, I gotta keep you in check.
I know.
Listen, I make you good cocktails.
I know. I'm drinking like this delicious chocolate martini, and now you have to remind me that World War III is on the horizon.
My Rite Aid is going out of business. Well, they all are, apparently.
They are. Rest in peace.
Yeah, because they went bankrupt. So my Rite Aid is going out of business, and they have like nothing. We went in there, I don't even remember what for. It's like toilet paper or something, and everything's gone except for the liquor cabinet. But all their liquor is 30% off. So of course I'm perusing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it the 1-2, the
of
up
course,
down, you know, just to see what I can get a little deal. You know, I love a deal.
I know.
I live for a deal.
Anything you can get your grubby little paws on.
And I saw, and we recently had a dinner party that kind of like depleted our bar situation. So I was like, oh yeah, there's something, like there's a handle of Tito's. Like we like to have Tito's in the house because it's just an easy thing to make cocktails with, or if people come over, everybody likes a cocktail, you know,
It's
easy,
true.
whatever.
I do.
We got some Jim Beam because that's what my fiance and his friends all like. So when they come over, they like to drink that. And then I saw this chocolate Bailey's.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just screaming my name.
It was literally saying, Cassidy, get me.
My fiance goes, Cassidy, do not buy that. You don't even have a sweet tooth. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, that just seems like a fun thing to have in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he's like, don't buy that. Don't buy that. And I was like, screw you. I'm buying it. 30% off. Rack it up, ladies. And so we get up to the counter. The lady checking us out, like I kind of know her because this is my local Rite Aid. And she's like, ooh, mixing it up. Because there's like
fancy.
There's like 3 things I buy at Rite Aid other than like essentials. And it's usually Tito's vodka, Jim Beam, or just beer, right?
Yeah.
I'm never in there like getting some like specialty liqueur. And so she's like, ooh, like this looks good. And I was like, yeah, right. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be having some girls' nights soon. I feel like this will be like a good thing to have, whatever. And Andrew's like scoffing. We get outside. We're walking home. We live 2 blocks from this Rite Aid. We're literally walking home and he goes, okay, I kind of want to try it. And I was like, oh, I can make you a cocktail with it when we get home if you want. And he was like, no, unscrews it as we're walking home, like on the street.
Takes a swig
And goes, oh no. That's so good.
Yeah.
And so
why would you not think that chocolate Bailey's was going to be good?
Well, he's a man. He doesn't understand how things work. So, of course, I'm like, okay, well, now I have to also drink in public. Please give me the bottle of Bailey's.
You guys are just walking on the street, literally taking swigs out of a bottle of Bailey's.
It was also like, it was like a Wednesday at like 2 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like the middle of the day.
I'm thinking it was like nighttime.
No, it was the middle of the day. Once again, like we went in there for normal stuff. And
Yeah.
then we were like, 30% off, huh?
Did you even get the toilet paper?
No, they're out. They don't have anything.
Well, this is better.
They're at that point of selling things that they're like actually selling the store.
That's crazy.
Like you can buy like the racks and stuff.
For what?
I don't know what you would need them for.
Well, now I kind of want to buy one.
We were looking at some because we were like, oh, these are like kind of cute, but they're expensive. Like, you know, those like round racks that they put like the things that are on sale by the checkout at. They're like, they had those. And I was like, ooh, if those are like $15, I would get one because we could totally store shit in that like out on our balcony.
Yeah.
And then it's $50. And I'm like, I could go to IKEA and get something that's not dirty as shit.
Rite Aid, you're going out of business for a reason.
Figure it out.
Just sell
brother.
us the damn racks
Yeah,
for $15.
Give me the damn rack so I can put it out on my balcony and keep weird knickknacks out there. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
But I did get my chocolate Baileys, and then of course I made a little cocktail with it that night, and it was so good. And so today I brought over a little bottle of it for Amanda and made us chocolate martinis.
Yes, with some vanilla vodka.
Big fan of the vanilla vodka. Way more versatile than you think.
Yeah.
Very versatile vodka flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
I might be leaning into that. Uh-huh.
It's the drink of the summer.
Oh my gosh, did I just invent the drink of the summer?
For the third time in a row?
Wow. Once again, I was born to be a bartender.
It's so true.
But I was burdened with existential dread and no customer service skills.
No. But that's why I say you could work in like a dive bar.
Yeah, like I feel like I would do really well like as my second, like once the internet grid goes down and things are really bad, but like bars are always going to exist.
Of course.
And I'm like 54. I don't have any real skills because I've been a podcaster for too long. And I could be like the local bar lady, like the local bar maiden.
Of course.
And
I was going to say wench.
Rough. Yeah, I'm a wench. I'm rough and tumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because those like biker bars.
Yeah.
Every single.
And I keep them in their place.
Well, every single time I ever go into one, because for some reason I go into them often, there's always just a really mean young gal behind the bar. And then I get uncomfortable because I'm like, you don't have to be mean to me.
You're like, we're on the same team.
I'm not doing anything.
And she's like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, no, she is.
I don't want to be at work.
She is every time when I go, please just give me that high noon.
You're like, I promise I'm not even going to make you work and I'm going to tip you.
Yeah, I literally just want
crack open that can.
A canned hard seltzer. That's all I want.
Yeah, like if you went in there and you're like, can I have a Negroni? She would literally look at you and be like, get the fuck out of my bar.
Oh my God. Wait, that just reminded me. So I was visiting my parents last weekend for Father's Day, and we were coming home from St. Augustine, which is like a 2-hour and 15-minute drive from where my parents live. So we're coming home, and for some reason, someone was like, we need to stop and get ice cream at this ice cream parlor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like was sleeping in the backseat, shot up like a rocket. I was like, ice cream. Yeah. Absolutely.
You were like a Manchurian candidate who just got activated. You're like,
literally, I heard ice cream and I was like,
it's ice cream.
So we go into this place that my brother recommended, and it's like not even 8 o'clock yet. It's like 7:50 p.m.
Okay.
The place closes at 8:30.
Okay. So
you're
you're not even cutting it close.
No, and it's a Tuesday. Like it's hot as fuck out because it's fucking Florida. You know what I mean?
I've been watching. You know me and my weather.
Yeah.
I've been watching that index with the really bad humidity. They said it's like 95, but it feels like 110.
And it did.
Yeah,
it did. Let me tell you. So we go into the ice cream place. We're the only ones there. The kid behind the counter, one kid. You can see that all of the ice cream containers, the lids are all on. So I think he was trying to close early.
Okay. I support him.
So he's pissed when he sees us. He actively
absolutely
makes a face at us.
Good for him.
And I'm like, okay.
I would also do this. I have done this.
Yeah, but 45 minutes before you close, like someone's gonna come in, dude.
100%.
So, and he has like a tiny little mustache, like the smallest little thinnest mustache you've ever seen in your life.
He's rocking that Gomez stash.
Yeah. So
Gomez Adams.
My mother, who I love you, Mom. I know you're gonna hear this. she's just a little like, sometimes she's a little oblivious to like things when she. So
the last fight me and my mom got into is because she was answering FaceTime calls in the smallest coffee shop you've ever been in.
Yes.
And she was like, what the fuck? Who cares? And I was like, there's new rules, Mom. There's new rules.
That is exactly the kind of oblivion I am speaking about. Yes.
Yeah. It's like when you like go on like the subway or something, or like I take the train a lot. I don't drive, and someone's like watching a video like full volume, and you're like, you're breaking the social contract here. But yeah, when you don't know, it's like you're not being malicious.
No, not at all. Like she just it just like goes over her head.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So she is like, oh, can I get a cone of this flavor or whatever? So the kid takes the cone. He literally is about to scoop it. And she goes, I'm so sorry. Can I get a waffle cone instead? When I tell you, I have never seen someone roll their eyes and make the most disgusted face I have ever. He audibly scoffed.
I'm sorry, it's so mean. I support him. I support any retail worker. Like if you have to deal with the general public, like yeah, we suck. I support you being mean to me like 90% of the time.
I giggled because I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like this is crazy that this kid just did. Like, and I get what you're saying. It is funny, like obviously, but as someone who works in customer service, like I could never do that.
Yeah,
because I would get fired.
I was gonna say that's why I don't work in customer service, because that would be me all day every day.
Yeah.
I'd be like, are you fucking kidding?
My dad just looks at me and he goes, oh my God, he hates her so much. And she didn't even know. She didn't realize. She goes, what?
Didn't even pick up on it. Yeah.
And we're like, Mom, he hates you.
I'm glad this is a universal mom experience. Yeah. And you know what? Every single one of my friends has told me a story like this about their mom. It's just like when your mom is a boomer or like late Gen X, like this is just what it is now.
So when I ordered, I was nervous. I was like shaking.
You were like, you better have that shit fucking down.
Yeah,
on lock.
Because I really wanted to ask him a question, and I knew I couldn't.
You can't do that
because there was a flavor. It was I love chocolate chip ice cream. Like that's my favorite. And it said chocolate chip with liquid chocolate chips. And I was like, what the fuck is a liquid chocolate chip? So I really wanted to know.
You should have just ordered it.
But I couldn't ask.
Did you just order it?
No, I ordered Moose Tracks.
Oh,
because I love Moose Tracks.
Okay,
but I couldn't ask him.
He was
so mad.
The goodwill has already been spent.
But then I got to tell you something. After we ordered,
it was good ice cream.
Guess how many people came in?
A lot.
So many.
Oh,
like 20 people.
And he was probably pissed. He was like, it looked closed in here. Nobody was coming in. And now these motherfuckers came in and made it look popular.
Like 20 people walked in. Like he was pissed.
The first job I ever had, I guess quit. I don't know. It was kind of a complicated situation.
You guess?
Me and the owner of this place, who it turns out wasn't even the owner. He was kind of just like a scammer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. He had to flee the country at one point.
Oh,
but we had a very tumultuous relationship, me and this man, because he treated me like a daughter, which also meant that he like sometimes would like yell at me in a way that like was probably not appropriate. Yeah, but I would also yell at him. Back.
Oh,
and I was like 15 or 16, like, you know, I'm in high school, and it's a hair salon / they sold, remember they rehired me.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah. After I went away to college, I came back and he rehired me. So clearly it wasn't that bad of blood. But I was very, very strict on, we closed at 10 p.m. I would close the doors and I would lock them and turn the lights off and do all my closing stuff in the dark, because I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to risk anyone.
Well, I'm going to high school the next morning.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not staying here because somebody wants to peruse. And I worked on like 2% commission. So it's like, what are you going to, unless you're going to come in here and spend like $1,500, I don't care. I'm not interested. So one night I did that. It was literally like 9:57 and I go and close it. And somebody, as I'm locking it, she comes up and pulls it. And I go, oh, sorry. Like I'm making the hand like, oh, sorry, we're closed. And she like goes like, it's 9:57. Like 9:50. Why would
you go to a store that you know closes at 10, 3 minutes before it closes? Fuck you.
Girl, by the way, it was also like same thing, like a Tuesday night. So I had basically already closed out the drawer. So unless she was going to pay with card, like if she paid with cash, which a lot of people did, because a lot of people who went there were hairstylists. So like they paid in cash because they make money off tips and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like literally tapping her, and I'm 16 years old. I'm a child. She's a full grown woman. She's in her 30s. And I'm going, oh no, sorry. And of course he comes out of the back like right then.
Oh no.
And he goes, she wants to come in, let her in. And I was like, well, we're closed. And I already started closing the till. And he goes, we can reopen it. So I let her in. She comes in. 35 minutes, looking, buys nothing.
Oh, you bitch.
And leaves. So now, instead of getting home at like 10:20, I'm going to get home at like 11:30. And I have high school in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed as fuck. He also made me reopen the till. So I had to like reclose it. So I had to like recount everything, whatever. And literally, I was so pissed off. And he goes, this is a money-making operation. If what you don't know, she could have come in here and spent $2,000, because we did have some big clients that would come in and spend like a lot of money. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a high school student and I don't care. Like, what do you want? We're literally yelling at each other, like screaming at each other. And I go like, fine, then you close. And I leave. I leave the place. And I also hated setting the alarm because I accidentally set it off like 4 times and called the cops. But so I was like, fine, I don't want to set the alarm tonight. Like, you finish it up. And he was like, I'm your manager. And I was like, I don't care. And so I just didn't come in for my next shift.
Oh, no call, no show.
I no call, no showed. And then like my brother also worked there, but as a hairstylist.
No.
So I did have to go and pick him up one day. Had to go pick him up. And obviously this guy's like, you need to come talk to me because you no call, no showed me.
Yeah.
For 2 shifts. And I went to the back room and I didn't even take my sunglasses off. I was so rude. And then they still rehired me back.
They were like, that Cassidy liston. She's got spunk.
He was mean. That's like, he was mean.
Yeah.
Like in a positive way. Like I liked him. He would yell, like if somebody was rude to me, they'd be like, I need to talk to the manager. And I'd be like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to talk to the manager?
He's meaner than me.
I'd be like, even better than this, the owner is here. Turns out he wasn't the owner. That was a whole scam that I won't get into.
Well, yeah, he fled the country.
Yeah, he had to flee the country. But I would be like, are you sure you want me to get the owner? He's in the back. I will get him. And he would come out and be like, what did you say to her? You're banned from the store. Banned. Leave. And she'd be like, I'm never spending money here ever again. He goes, I don't care. I'm rich. He would always say that to people. He was such an icon.
I was going to say, that's pretty iconic.
But this is why I am the way that I am. Like when it comes to being an employee.
Yeah.
Like he taught me like, no, just be mean. It's fine. We'll just be mean to each other. And I never unlearned that. Like I was a horrible employee every single job I've ever had.
Which it's good that you are your own boss now.
I literally have like 3 options and it's be a podcaster, start some sort of cult.
Yeah. Which you could.
Or go off the grid. Like those are really my only options. Every time I text my friend Kate that I think I came up with a new scam, she just goes, Cassidy, that's a job. You just came up with a job. So like I can build websites and stuff, and I used to do it like for a job. And then somebody hired me to build a website, one of my friends, and I gave her like, I did it for very, very cheap. And then I built another website for somebody else and I did it for like market value. And I was like, wow, that was so easy. And they just like gave me $1,200.
You're like, wow, I can scam people.
And I was like, new scam alert. I literally texted in the group chat. I was like, new scam alert. I'm going to start building websites for people who don't know how to build websites. And I'm going to charge them this much. And Kate literally goes, Cassidy, that is just a job. That's a job. You're going to pay taxes on that. It's a job. It's not a scam. You have a skill and you're going to charge people for it. And I was like, oh, okay.
I get it. Cause like when I was a party princess, like I felt like I was scamming people.
You're like, this is such a scam. This is such a good scam right now.
I was like, why are people paying me to go to their kid's birthday party?
They don't even know that I'm not really a princess.
Literally. Like these kids are so stupid. They think I'm a princess.
Meanwhile, that's like literally the whole point of the business model. Like it's just Disneyland. Like that's Disneyland.
No, literally. Like I did feel like that every single time. Like, I feel like I'm a scam artist right now.
You're like, I can't believe I'm getting away with this. It's like it's just legal business practices. Like, oh my God, how could I get away with this?
And honestly, I was probably more qualified than other party princesses because I actually can sing.
You can sing.
So
that's so
it
true.
was really great.
Yeah, and you've got a very like your face is very like it fits all the wigs. Does that make sense?
It did, yeah.
Like like you're very, very pretty.
Oh, thank
and
you.
You have like a very just like stock like pretty person face. Because like sometimes you'll see people being princesses and like they're like a beautiful person, but they have like a really
fit.
They have like a really defining feature, like their nose is really prominent, or they have a very prominent chin, or they're really prominent lips, or like their eyes are like a crazy color, and you're like, you look amazing as Elsa, but when you put on that Ariel wig, you look crazy.
I will say Elsa was my least good looking. Like I didn't fit Elsa as well as I did other ones,
which is funny because you're blonde now.
I know. I think my Cinderella was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cinderella and Ariel for some reason.
Ariel was my favorite.
Yeah, those were like my best ones, I think.
I dressed up as Anna with you, and I feel like that one I did pretty good with.
You did Anna and
what was the other one I did?
Rapunzel. Which Rapunzel fits you really well too.
Yeah. That one's both of those characters too are like a little spunky.
Oh.
So I was allowed to just like be myself.
That was the funniest. I remember being a little mad at you just because I didn't know at the time. I was like, is this going to come off bad? Because I remember you were being like a little like spunky with the kids.
They loved it.
No, they loved it.
I was their favorite. They were running around me in circles and like trying to make me dance with them and stuff.
Like Cassidy she wasn't doing a princess voice. So I remember being like, she's not even doing a princess voice. She's just being like, hey, what's up? this little girl, she was like 2 years old, would not let her go.
Obsessed with
She
me.
was holding her hand. She was climbing in her lap. Like, I was cracking up. I was like, you know what?
Well, I was playing Rapunzel, and like that's how she is in the Tangled movie.
No,
she's like very just
absolutely.
like, what's up? Like if I was playing like Cinderella, I would have been like, oh, I'm Cinderella. But like I wasn't. I was playing with a spunky one.
It was just so funny. And I just looked at you, and the little girl was like nestled in your lap.
Oh, she was obsessed
She
with
was
me.
obsessed with you.
And her mom was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
So funny.
Yeah, I'm in like I'm in that kid's like birthday pictures for the rest of their life.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that so funny? Imagine one day the mom finds the podcast and is like, oh my God.
Stop right now. Like, those two girls look really familiar. Pulls out Elsa and Anna.
No, it was you were Little Mermaid that
Oh, I
day.
was Ariel and you were
Ariel.
Rapunzel. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
Rapunzel. Yeah.
yeah. But we also did Elsa and Anna for another party.
We did Elsa and Anna at the Children's Hospital.
We did.
We went to the cancer ward at the Children's Hospital
at the
and did
Chalk
Elsa
Children's Hospital.
and Anna. That was actually
And we
a great
colored
time.
with that little girl for so long.
I played video games with that other little girl.
Yeah, it was really fun. Guys, I don't know. We've lived many lives.
We get down with a lot of weird. We just like do a lot of stuff.
We do.
Like
And also
sometimes
anything
bad,
that-
sometimes good.
Anything that we can also do that we don't have to like have a boss.
Oh yeah. Once
Yeah.
again, any scheme I can get on
Yeah.
where I don't have a boss.
We're really trying as many different avenues
I'm
here as we
scheming,
can.
I'm scamming. I don't know. And then once again, and then Kate's just there like, Cassidy, you're gonna have a W-2 at the end of this. What? That's not a scheme. That's just a job.
You owe taxes to the government. What do you mean?
You're just working a job.
You don't have to flee the country. I don't know how to tell you this.
It's not a very good scheme if you don't even have to flee the country.
No, not at all.
I just have to fill out a 1099 form.
That's why I really want to kind of know what the scam that your old boss did.
Well, allegedly, he's not listening to this. I would assume.
I hope not.
Allegedly, okay. So he would always tell us that he owned this salon that I worked at, and apparently he did not own it. Somebody else in Canada owned it.
Okay.
Because he was Canadian, and he lived in like this like mansion. So we just like assumed he was like a rich guy, but turns out he was like really pressing his funds. You know what I mean? And turns out he was not the owner. He was just like the manager, which is weird because I was the manager, and there's another guy who there was another guy who was a manager.
Why did the guy flee though?
So I don't know exactly why he had to flee because I heard this happened after I'd already moved to California.
Okay.
The fleeing, but allegedly, like he had been maybe siphoning some money that he was not supposed to because he was just a manager, but he was like taking a cut. You know what I mean?
Got it.
And
skimming a little off the top.
It allegedly, this is what I heard like third hand. The place is closed down now, obviously.
Yeah, so we can talk about it. It's fine.
And none of you guys are gonna know. It doesn't exist, so it's not like you guys can find it.
You
and say
can't.
anything.
You can't look it up. Okay.
But yeah, so allegedly that's what happened.
Well,
He did live in a really fucking nice house with like a huge pool in Scottsdale.
That must be really nice.
And he had a son who drove a motorcycle. I remember that.
Wow. Now they're gonna look it up. Who
That's too many.
drives a motorcycle?
Drives motorcycle, lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. 9 million. Worked at a salon. Okay, 8.5 million. Lot of Cassidy lore just right there unpacked.
I love a lore drop.
Listen, like you said, we've lived a million lives.
We have.
It's so funny to me when I have like friends who are like even you, where you're like, oh, I've been at the same job for like 8 years.
I know.
And I'm like, that's so crazy to me because I feel like I've never stayed at a job longer than like 2 years.
Yeah,
I'd be bouncing around. I'd be having odd jobs because that I think are schemes, but it turns out I still have to pay taxes. Terrible.
I just stay because I am too afraid to leave.
See, I'm too afraid to stay. I'm like, oh, we can't be doing this. Absolutely not.
You know what's really creepy though is that I've been at my job now for almost 8 years, and then the job I was at before that I was at for 4 years. Like that's how long we've been out here.
Yeah, we've been out here for a long time.
I know, it's just
13
wild.
years.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, but we did it.
We did it.
And now we're both
All the bitches
you're
that
married,
said we
unengaged.
couldn't.
Oh, were the bitches saying that?
No.
No.
My mom was hoping that I wouldn't, so I would move back home.
All the one bitches, and it's just Amanda's mom.
Well, guess what, Mom? The fucking guy at the ice cream store hated you.
Joke's on you. Kent at the ice cream store wasn't into it.
Oh God, he's probably thinking about her still to this day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still thinking about that bitch who fucking tapped her watch at me. She literally tapped her watch at me so aggressively, and I was like, oh, now I hope you die. At first I just didn't like you. Now I hope you die. And who knows? She could be dead, everybody. We don't know.
Fingers crossed.
God works in mysterious ways. But speaking of some people who I don't want to die, let's welcome some new patrons.
Let's do it.
So welcome to Karen T.
Hello, Karen.
And welcome to Stephanie, who actually joined for the whole year.
Ooh, hello, Stephanie.
And thank you to Courtney, who edited their membership up to get that sweet, sweet video content.
We love you.
We love you.
Ooh, beautiful.
Ooh, that felt nice.
That
when it
was
came
really
out.
nice.
It was like smooth as silk.
It did.
Yeah. Wow, that's great.
Smooth like butter.
Sometimes I have dreams where I can sing like really well. Like I have these dreams where I'm like on The Voice or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh.
You're like Ariel.
Yeah, I'm like Ariel. Like, you know, like that. Like it sounds so good. You can almost feel it physically.
Right.
And then I always wake up and I'm sad.
Well, we all can't be Susan Boyle.
Oh
okay?
God, I wish, bitch. I fucking wish. Married to a doctor. She's living the life.
Dude, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I love her.
We can't stop bringing her up.
Can we get her on the pod?
Susan, come on the pod.
Maybe.
Please.
Maybe it's possible.
You're a singer. You must have a mic in your house somewhere.
You gotta.
You gotta.
You gotta.
Speaking of, I hope you guys enjoyed our new episode of Things Are Getting Weird and Petty.
Possibly.
Over on our episode from Monday, so make sure you go check that out.
I was gonna say, speaking of being a hater.
And we also have a really fun episode of Things Are Getting Weird coming out this coming Monday. We're going to actually be talking to some filmmakers from Bad Witches Productions. And I really enjoyed that talk. We talked about scary movies. We talked about a film of theirs that is currently in production and just indie filmmaking as a whole. So you guys should definitely go check that out.
Yeah, real spooky story we heard.
Oh, I got literal chills all over my entire body. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go check that out. We had such a great time talking with them, and that way you can find all of their links and all of their stuff. We donated to their Indiegogo, and we're going to be at the premiere of the movie, so check it out.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. We also have a bunch of fun stuff on Patreon right now. We have a new shot of Kool-Aid that is out. We also have the episode the recap of A Deadly American Marriage. Once again, very controversial. I know everyone's like, where is it? And I'm like, I wanted to make sure people watched it before we released it, but it's out by now, obviously.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. Oh, and I also wanted to say thank you so much to our listener, Layla, who took me, Kate, and Connie to Disney's Pride Night. And we had such a great time hanging out with you, Layla. You are so awesome. I can't wait to hang out and go to Disney again. And
I'm very jealous that
Amanda was in Florida
there for that.
She was just sending like the most dry, like, hope you're having fun.
Oh no, I was.
Oh, she was so pissed.
I was being petty.
But she also wanted to remind us that she knows that we're having fun.
Yeah. I was like, I hope you're having fun because I see that you are, and I'm excited for you, but like also annoyed that I'm not there.
But yeah, it was like seriously one of the most fun nights ever. And I'm gonna reach out to you, Layla, because I do want to send you some more goodies. So.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. We had such a fun time. It was awesome. We got to go on like every ride. There was no line.
I know. I'm annoyed.
The
one time this happened.
We walked on to Indiana Jones. Walked on. That's crazy. It's unheard of.
Layla, you're the VIP MVP, and I'm bummed that I could not attend.
It's okay. We'll go again next time. But yeah, so on that note, would you like to get started?
Let's get started.
Let's do it. Okay. Ooh, cheers.
Cheers.
We have a new cocktail has entered the villa.
Yes.
Dude, I made the mistake of liking like 2 videos about Love Island.
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
They're apparently all giving each other herpes. Have you heard about this?
I have not heard that one.
Oh, I have.
But it doesn't shock me.
But yeah, apparently people have like put together the clips of like they all have like mouth herpes or cold sores or whatever.
See there's 2 guys in particular who have had some.
And apparently all the girls have them too, and it's like they've been trying to edit it out, but there's like little parts where people have caught it, obviously. But it's like, yeah, because they're all fucking macking. All it takes is one cold sore to start a war here.
They're doing more than macking, let me tell you.
Oh, so I've heard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of head,
now I'm really interested.
today I'm going to be talking about the Melon Heads.
Okay.
Yes.
Fun.
So my sources today were the Goga County Maple Leaf, Mysterious Michigan, Cryptid Wiki, Ohio Dead, and what was the other one? Sorry, I like wrote it down in my actual thing, but I forgot. CreepyCleveland.com.
Creepy Cleveland.
Or .net.
So this is Ohio.
This is everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Well, not everywhere. Okay, so this one actually spans a few states. There's Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut are the main ones that have melon head sightings.
Interesting.
Because these melon heads have been spotted in multiple states. And there are more than a few stories about how these creatures came to be.
I love, you guys know how I feel about cryptids. I talk about it all the time. But like, where do these fucking people come up with?
Oh, there's just these creepy urban legends. Yeah.
Like, it's so bonkers.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a few from like one from Connecticut and one from Ohio and one from Michigan.
Perfect.
Of the different ways that these melon heads came to be. So in Fairfield County, Connecticut,
yes,
there was allegedly an asylum for the criminally insane.
Okay.
And one night in the early 1960s, a fire broke out. And arson was expected because the fire quickly burned through the staff quarters, which allowed the inmates and patients to escape into the surrounding woods.
You know, that's never good.
No. This all the stories I'm about to tell are very much like a story that your dad would tell you, like around a campfire when you're camping.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's what it makes me think of.
I mean, anything that has to do with an asylum, and woods,
literally,
and people escape, like
they're escaping.
They're escaping the mental institution and running off into the woods.
Exactly. So when the fires were finally put out, all of the staff was dead.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. But nearly 20 inmates were unaccounted for.
I bet it's those
in the woods.
Dang melon heads.
So in an attempt to evade capture, the group banded together and lived in the woods, but no one had any proper equipment, clothing, or idea how to live out in the wilderness during these harsh winter conditions, right?
I wouldn't know how to spend one night in the wilderness.
So as the legend goes, some of the escapees resorted to cannibalism to stay alive.
No.
And after years and decades of inhuman-like living, inbreeding, and cannibalism, the escapees lost their human form and became what is now known as the Melon Heads.
Okay.
Yes.
Did they turn into melons?
So apparently they have like huge heads and red beady eyes. Like, I'm imagining kind of the idea of like, we actually just talked about this movie, The Descent, where you're like, oh, they've been underground. They used to be people, but they've been underground so long that now they're these like creatures. It's like that, but like they've been in the woods so long.
Ooh.
You know, it's just like a spooky, creepy little story.
No, it is. And their heads look like cantaloupes.
And their heads look like lopes.
I fucking love a cantaloupe.
I like I like cantaloupe.
And honeydew.
It's probably my favorite. Honeydew is what we call muskmelon. But cantaloupe is probably my favorite. When you get like a really sweet cantaloupe,
it's so good.
That's summer to me.
I'm
not a watermelon gal.
I prefer cantaloupe to watermelon. Like, I like all of it, but I had a cantaloupe, like, I think it was called the Cantaloupe Cooler. It was a cocktail. It was a cantaloupe.
Oh, I've had that before.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We need to make more things. Cantaloupe.
Yeah. Cantaloupe chewy candy from Japan is like one of my favorite things.
Yeah. We
If you have access to that, please, I'll give you my address. Whatever you need.
More cantaloupe flavored things.
Yeah, it's so good.
Please.
Yeah.
We need that.
I'm actually
in this country today, we need that, guys.
I was going to say I can't talk about this because it'll spoil it. My 90-year-old grandma isn't listening to this.
No, absolutely not.
I'm going back to Illinois. It's my grandma's. Don't tell her. If you tell her, I'm going to be so mad at you.
Her surprise party.
Yes, it's my grandma's 90th surprise birthday party. We're having it like a month before she turns 90, so it's like a real surprise.
Yeah, because she's not going to have any idea.
Exactly. So I'm going back to Illinois for the first time forever, and I'm so excited to have cantaloupe.
Are they really good there?
Yeah, they're so good.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Cantaloupe and taco pizza.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You better send me all the photos.
I will. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
Sorry, enough about
those
about melon heads.
Yeah, enough about my familial melon heads. So there are other ways that this story is told. So another popular legend, and this one's more popular in Ohio and in Michigan, is that of Dr. Crow.
Okay.
So Dr. Crow was said to have run a hospital for children with hydrocephaly. So it is a real thing. This, I would guess, is not a real thing. But so he was said to have a hospital specifically for children suffering from that in Kirtland, Ohio. So this story is kind of told in one of two ways. One is that Dr. Crow was a very good guy, and him and his wife cared for these children and, helped them feel correct in a society that was shaming them for not being normal.
Okay.
And that when him and his wife died in a horrible accident, the children ran away into the woods so that they wouldn't be forced back into a society that rejected them instead of waiting for somebody else to come help them. And so then they lived in the woods and they formed their own colony.
Okay, so in every story, there's woods involved.
Oh, the woods are involved deeply.
Yeah, people are running into the woods.
There's so many different stories, honestly, and the one consistent thing is big heads, woods. Or two consistent things, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen some big heads in the woods before.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Me too. I am one.
You know what's funny? I was gonna say, well, you are a big head.
I've got
to be in the woods.
My head is so disproportionately large for my body. It's crazy. And then God was also like, do you also want hair that won't do anything you ever tell it to do? And I said, I am your strongest soldier. Give it to me. And he said, only if you can handle not having a chin. And I said, who needs one? Not me. I don't need it. Okay. So the other way that this story is told, once again, this is like mostly in Michigan and in Ohio, is that Dr. Crow was actually a very evil man.
Okay. See, this is what I would expect.
Yeah. And he knew, because these children were differently abled, that he could take advantage of them, and he could convince the parents to send them off to his hospital where he could experiment on them in different ways, trying to figure out whatever the fuck evil scientists try to do.
I see.
Like, how can we make cancer worse?
Yeah. Imagine like there really is a Mr. Crow and he's just like, what the fuck, guys?
He was like, I really like those kids.
Yeah,
actually.
like I was actually really nice. Why are we putting this
I was like,
spin on
the
it?
The bigger the noggin, the bigger the heart.
I stand by that.
That's what he was
actually
saying. And I said, thank you, Dr. Crow, for standing up for me and my people.
Yeah.
But so as the story goes, Dr. Crow's wife, Mrs. Crow, she was very kind to the children, and they loved her, and she would take care of them, and she would sneak them treats, and she would make sure that they were well taken care of, because she was also being abused by her horrible, evil Dr. Evil husband, Crow. And that one day the couple was fighting. Whatever. You get the gist. And Dr. Crow hit Mrs. Crow in the face, and she fell back and cracked her skull and died. And when the kids found out about this, it finally set them off, and they revolted, and they broke free and murdered Dr. Crow.
Good.
Before running into the woods to once again start their own community.
They have to go into the woods.
They've got to do it. There's also some legends about a colonial era family that was from the Shelton Trumbull area of like Connecticut. And they had actually been banished into the woods. Once again, a lot of woods. Because they were accused of participating in witchcraft, the whole family. So they had been banished from their settlement. Similar, I'm like imagining like to the witch, you know, the beginning of the witch.
Yes.
When like they're like cast out from the society and they have to go like live by themselves. And so because of this, they actually spent very, generations and generations, 100, 200 plus years inbreeding. And they link up with the escapees from the mental hospital. And this creates this new race of melon heads.
Oh, so we're saying that these two different, they came together.
Factions.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people say that. Some people just think it is the family that was outcast and they inbred because they were not allowed to be involved in modern society.
Okay, so this is not really like a creature. It's like people.
I mean, once again, it's kind of like in The Descent, where it's like they used to be people.
Yeah.
But like
years
circumstances, decades of evolution and circumstances have made them into something separate completely.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So one of the first stories of the melon heads that like went really viral online was in the early 2000s because there was a guy named Alex who posted on a website called cheapchange.com, and this got reposted to Cleveland, creepy Cleveland or whatever, .net. .net is so good. But this went really viral. I'm just going to read his actual encounter part because he kind of does give like the backstory before, but I'm just going to read his encounter that he had with allegedly the melon heads.
Okay.
So Alex says, I was dating a girl from Chardon, and we often found ourselves driving many of the secluded roads rumored to be melon head territory. Not because we were looking for these creatures, but because we were young, horny, and, well, you get the picture. We often joked about the melon heads and talked about how without them scaring everyone away to give us some privacy, maybe our relationship wouldn't have blossomed the way that it did. But one night we're sitting in my girlfriend's car off the side of the road when I had to take a leak. I
fucking hate when people say that.
Take a leak?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It just sounds so gross to me. Like, just say you gotta go pee.
You know what I hate?
What?
When people say, I got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. What? Have you never heard that?
Never heard that.
I hate that one.
Is that I got to take a poop?
Yeah. Because first of all, why would the Browns ever be at the Super Bowl? And second of all, gross. I don't want to know.
That is disgusting.
Just say I need to use the restroom.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep going on this, but in the movie The House Bunny, I like when she goes, I had to go drop off some timber.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, too. So he's taking a leak. And he said, I got out and walked to the edge of the woods to do my thing when suddenly I heard the car start up and lurch into gear. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it move backwards as the headlights came on. I figured my girlfriend was playing a joke on me. She's moving the car away so I wouldn't have the car blocking my public urination. And she did that every now and again.
Iconic.
Then she laid on the horn. I figured that she was once again just trying to make a joke, bringing further attention to my public peeing. But she was not playing a practical joke at all. I found this out when I zipped myself up, turned around, and saw the scariest sight I've ever seen with my own two eyes. I hope they were your eyes. Right?
Whose eyes were they?
Whose eyes were they? Like, imagine, that'd be terrifying. Okay. My girlfriend was crying behind the wheel of the car. She was screaming, and although I could barely hear her through the rolled up windows, I knew she was in distress. The headlights were pointed into the woods, and through the foliage, I saw the silhouettes of 3 or 4 shadowy shapes lumbering around. One was already on the edge of the road, moving through the bushes and tall grass straight towards me. From what I could make out, it was no taller than 3 feet, and it had the biggest, most bulbous head I had ever seen.
A melon.
A melon, you could say. Maybe 2 melons next to each other. It wasn't really running, but as the equilibrium caused it, its disproportion only allowed the thing to move at a limited speed. I couldn't really get a good look at the thing through the darkness and the thick underbrush, but in a split second, I realized, oh no, this was just like a childhood story that I'd heard about these woods. And maybe it's true. I really feared that, in fact, I was about to be attacked.
When urban legend becomes reality.
Literally. There was about 20 feet between me and the car at this point, but it seemed like miles. I ran towards it, and as I did, I realized I was not going to make it. The melon head, or whatever it was about to cut me off. And as it emerged from the vegetation, it was on the passenger side door in between me and the car. Since the headlights were still pointing into the woods, the thing was now shrouded in darkness once again, but I knew it was there. I stopped in my tracks and I strained my eyes to see it, but mostly I just listened to it. Over the muffled screams of my girlfriend in the car, I could hear the melon head wheezing, and as it breathed, it made a kind of gurgling sound.
Wheezing?
Yeah, I'm imagining like a...
My husband does that sometimes.
Oh, just
behind me?
To be scary? Or
No.
Oh, he just breathes like that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Are you married to a mouth breather?
A little. And you know, Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
You know Helga Pataki?
Yeah.
How the mouth breather behind her?
And she'll punch
and
him.
She'll punch him. Sometimes I literally go, I'm going to Helga Pataki you right now.
I think that's
to
fair.
my husband.
I think that's fair.
Because you know how I feel about sounds.
I think, she hates sounds.
I hate all sounds.
She wants to defriend me every time I send her a voice memo, and I'm married to a whistler. He whistles and hums all the time, and she's like, I can hear him humming in the background right away.
Drives me fucking insane.
She can't stand it.
So these guys are mouth breathers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also like
gurglers even.
And also like don't have good stamina or have asthma.
Well, I mean, they're trying their hardest.
Yeah, no,
they're inbreed little fucks.
No, I support them.
Yeah.
They would just annoy me.
They would annoy you. Yeah, absolutely. They would just annoy you to death. They don't even have to do anything else. I don't mind telling you that I was paralyzed with fear at this point. Thankfully, my girlfriend did not freeze up. She threw the car into reverse and swung it around just to face me and the thing, kicking up a cloud of dust from the shoulder of the road.
Good for her.
Then she flipped on the high beams, and when the light hit the beast, it recoiled.
Ooh.
I seized the opportunity and took off past it towards the car. In the split second that I ran past it, I tried to get a better look at this melon head, but the cloud had kicked up so much dust and there was so much glare from the high beams, I could not see.
Damn.
I wasn't going to wait around for the dust to settle, so I could maybe get a better look. I jumped into the passenger side door and tried to get a glimpse of the thing through the windshield, and just for a moment, I could make out the distorted form of it, with its two eyes glowing in the lights, and then it disappeared into the underbrush. By this time, the other melon heads must have retreated, for there was no more movement in the woods. And at that point, my girl just floored it, and we got the hell out of there, never looking back.
That's right, queen.
I hope you married her.
Yeah, you better treat her like the fucking queen she is.
Yeah, she just saved your ass from the melon heads.
Yeah, you could have been a smashed melon on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth? So he finishes his story off with, since that time, I have never laughed when I hear a story about the melon heads. I don't brush them off, and I never make fun of those who are scared of them. Heed my words as a warning. Don't mess around in the woods around Chardon or Kirtland, Ohio, or near Chagrin River unless you want to come face to face with these hideous melon heads, or their eyes might be the last ones that you see.
Ooh.
And that's from Alex.
Well, Alex, you called them hideous, and that's a little rude.
Yeah, no wonder they hate you, bro. Maybe they just maybe they just wanted to get a little peep show. You guys were fucking in the car.
Literally.
Have we ever thought that maybe they aren't evil? They're just kind of perverts?
Which is sometimes what happens when you live in the woods.
When you live in the woods.
And you don't have TV.
You don't have the internet. You have to go for live entertainment.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
What else are they supposed to do? They don't have access to the internet.
Exactly. So another user on creepycleveland.net made a comment after reading Alex's story and said, "Hey, great site." This was in 2009, by the way. Could you guess that by the language?
Oh, yeah. That's when I graduated high school.
I came across this tonight as I was searching for haunted spots in Ohio. I saw your section on melon heads and thought to myself, holy crap, other people have seen these things? I'm not crazy?
Well, you might be, but it's okay.
But also, that doesn't mean you could be crazy and also have seen melon heads.
No,
sure.
I think that they exist.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to.
I know. Why are you
your
playing
foot.
footsie with me right
It's an
now?
accident. My under leg is very sweaty, so I'm trying to air it out over here. Several years ago, my mother had to attend a course for work in Cleveland. After her class, we decided to go out and see the sights. The beautiful sights of Cleveland.
No offense.
My favorite video ever. It's Cleveland. It's been under construction since 1898. So around 1 a.m. we decided to head back to the hotel. Wow, there's so many sites. Around 1 a.m. we decided to head back to the hotel and drove through a lightly wooded area. The woods are back.
They're always there.
Suddenly, my mother slams on the brakes and I ask what was wrong. She said that an animal was crossing the road. I take a look at this thing and it is shambling across the road. Shambling. It had a big head, a human-like body, and it walked on 2 feet. My heart raced as I thought, what in the hell is this thing? It's so good to know that other people besides me have seen these melon head things. Thank you for sharing this, Jason.
So that was a response to Alex.
Yes, this was so Alex had originally posted this on cheapchange.com and then it had been reposted on creepycleveland.net. .net, get it right. And and somebody had commented, "Oh my god, I saw these things back in the day when I was a kid. I thought I was crazy and now I'm feeling vindicated."
Yeah, I'm feeling less crazy.
Well, and it's kind of reminding me of the Dublin thing, like where people look it up and then they're like, holy crap.
Yes.
People have seen this. By the way, we have a listener who their dad is pretty sure that they have a
Dublin
t-shirt.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to you on that.
Yes.
But yeah. So that is the legend, the truth, I don't know, of the melon heads.
I mean, listen, I believe that they are out there and that people have seen them.
I just think they need a little hug.
Yeah, that's a thing. I'm like, what do they want? I feel like maybe they just want human interaction, and I support that.
Yeah.
They haven't hurt anybody.
No, they're not even like that lizard thing you talked about that like tears up people's cars.
Exactly.
There's no insurance claims happening here. You know what I mean? They're
they're
just
there.
shambling around.
They're shambling around trying to get a peep at 2 people fucking in a car.
Listen, who isn't? Okay? Let's be real. Let's get realistic here, people.
Only people with big heads like
you
Cassidy.
Have a big head like me. God gave me a big head so I can't peep. You know what I mean? He was like, they're going to see you, bitch.
Honestly,
they're going to see that big round head.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. They're like, you're trying to peep? They're going to see that big. They're going to see that honker.
We're going to see that melon. And the other
from
melons.
A mile away. Yeah.
The other 2 melons,
that
God gave you.
God damn it. Yeah. That just makes it so I can't run away.
Yeah. God gave you so many melons. I don't even know what to tell you about
I'm
that.
bountiful.
So what I've taken away from this story is,
please let me know.
I will never be going into woods, literally ever, if I'm in Connecticut, Michigan, or Ohio. And if I do happen upon a melon head, I'll just give him a little sneaky peek.
Just one nipple.
One. Yeah, just one.
He didn't earn 2.
No.
Just give him 1.
Yeah, I think that's...
And he'll be like, sick.
I think that's appropriate.
This is making me think of The Hills Have Eyes.
That's
that like kid from The Hills Have Eyes is like what it's making me... It's like what I'm thinking of.
No, this is exactly The Hills Have Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100... Like, because I like the melon heads are kind of like a known cryptid. Like that's like a popular cryptid, but I didn't realize it was like an inbred situation.
Well, we don't know.
Allegedly, we don't really know.
We don't know. That's the fun thing about fake stuff.
It's so true. Is that you can literally speculate wildly,
yeah,
and nobody can get mad at you,
and because
it's
you better not get mad at me.
A story, guys. Okay, and you don't know a melon head, so I don't care.
Someone writes in, my aunt is actually a melon head. And this is offensive to her culture. They prefer...
So is Cassidy.
So shut up. Have you seen her noggin? That shit is huge. It's crazy out there. The forehead, you could land a plane on that bitch.
So you guys can't get mad at us at all, okay?
Yeah, you can't. This is my culture. Midwest, stupid, big head. Yeah, that's my culture. Sorry. Hate to say it. It's too bad I don't want kids because I've got a giant ass head. My fiance has a little head.
So you would have a perfectly normal headed baby.
Maybe it would just be a normal headed baby.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Never going to
The
happen.
world will never know.
Never going to happen. My husband has a big head and I have
So maybe you guys will have a
head.
normal headed baby.
Yeah,
Good for
hopefully.
you.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Or it'll have a tiny little head and a giant body.
Oh,
or
no.
a giant head and a tiny body.
Oh no. I'm going to create my own cryptid.
It's going to look like Tom Cruise.
No, please, Lord. No. Anyone but Tom Cruise.
But yes, so that is the tale of the melon heads of the Midwest and also for some reason Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut's just kind of thrown in there a little bit.
Good for them. They've got to do something.
It's so true.
They got to get up to something besides
Honestly,
just Lyme's disease.
Here's the thing. As someone who, I have family in Connecticut and I used to go there all the time because I'm from New York. Just geographically, how Connecticut is, for sure there's melon heads around.
For sure.
Like it is so woodsy. There's a melon head.
And they're close to all those like weird that I've talked about before on the podcast, those like weird islands.
Yeah. There's a clan lurking around.
There's something. There's something. And it's none of our business.
It's definitely not my business, I'll tell you that much. Well, thank you so much. That was fun.
You're welcome so much.
All right. Okay, so today I'm gonna talk about, you okay there, Sparky?
Yes, there was just some leaves from the background on my arm, so I was moving them. That's all.
So today I'm going to tell you about a little lady named Anne Hodges.
Oh, okay. Just a little lady.
Just a little lady.
Doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm not telling them.
Uh-uh.
I know you know, but I'm not telling them. So my sources were an article in Smithsonian Magazine by Alice George, the Encyclopedia of Alabama.org, CBS42.com by Lee Hedgepeth, University of Alabama Newsletter by Kathy Butler Burnett, SkyAtNightMagazine.com by Dave Golder, and Wikipedia.
Of course.
All right. So let me take you here. It's November 30th, 1954 in Sylacauga, Alabama. Are you there?
Oh, I'm mentally there.
Okay, good. 34-year-old Anne Hodges. She's a sleepy little lady, and she gets on her couch. She pulls up a couple of her little blankets over her, and she lays down for that classic midday nap.
Always a gamble.
And as we know, a midday nap, it can either make you or break you.
Sometimes you wake up feeling like a brand new person, and sometimes you wake up feeling like exactly yourself, but more evil.
Yeah. I feel like that midday nap, for me personally, is never good. I always wake up being like, oh, I'm going to jump in front of a semi-truck. So her midday nap, unfortunately, was soon interrupted because something crashed through the ceiling of her house, ricocheted off of a radio, and then smashed into her body. So Anne jolts awake, and at first she doesn't realize that she was like physically hit by anything.
Ah, okay.
And she didn't even know that she was in a massive amount of pain at first because she like wakes up from this fucking midday nap and she's like, oh my God, like what happened? This is crazy. Mm-hmm. And you're super disoriented when you wake up from those naps. So her first thought is the gas space heater had exploded because the crash from her ceiling, it made like a super loud sound. So that was her first initial thought. So that was her first initial reaction. She's like, oh my gosh, like the space heater exploded in the house because the sound was so loud, obviously. So it jolted her awake. But then she's on her couch and she looks down and she sees this they said it was a grapefruit size, but according to the pictures that I saw, it looked bigger than a grapefruit. Sized rock on the floor in front of the couch. And then she looks up and she sees this giant hole in the ceiling of her roof.
Oh my goodness.
So her mother, Ida, she was also in the home at the time, and she hears the explosion and she immediately runs outside because she's like, what the fuck was that? Someone's like throwing something through the ceiling or at
like we're under
roof.
attack.
Yeah, like that was her initial reaction. Actually, the first thought she had was that there were kids throwing rocks on top of the roof.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just being like fucking annoying. So she goes outside to like look up at the roof, and she's expecting to see children around like being annoying. But all she sees is a huge dark cloud in the sky, kind of like over the house.
Okay.
So Ida goes back inside, and at this point, Anne is now very aware that the rock that she's looking at in front of the couch had hit her, and now she is in deep, deep pain.
Okay, yeah.
So unbeknownst to both Ida and Anne, hundreds of people in Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi that day, because by the way, this is the middle of the day, like I said, midday nap.
Yeah.
It's 12:30 p.m.
Yeah.
They were all witnesses to seeing, quote unquote, a bright reddish fireball crossing the sky like a Roman candle trailing smoke.
Damn. Okay.
Then there was a huge explosion that was heard literally for miles, and a dark brownish cloud was seen in the sky. So most everybody that saw this, they assumed that they were witnessing like an airplane crash. So the police and the firefighters were already making their way to the area where Anne Hodges' house was, because they were like, oh my God, a plane crashed. Like everyone saw it. Literally 3 states saw this fireball flying through the air and exploding and crashing. And they knew it was like in the vicinity of Anne's home. So Anne's husband, Eugene, he was working 40 miles away from Sylacauga at the time. And some of the crew that he worked with, they started talking about an explosion that they heard coming from the direction of Sylacauga.
Okay.
So they're talking to Eugene. They're like, did you hear this explosion? Like, it was so loud. That's crazy. And Eugene's like, you know what? It's probably just a construction site. It's one of those mines. Maybe they were like using dynamite in there or whatever. Like, I'm not too concerned about it. Whatever. And he just continues doing his work for the rest of the day.
Okay.
A few hours later, he starts heading home, and a man that he knows in town, he flags him down because this is a small town. Everyone knows everyone. And he's like, Eugene, why are you not at home? Like, what are you doing? Something fell through your house and hit your wife.
Oh my God.
And Eugene's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he just floors it and books it home as fast as he possibly can.
Oh, can you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what do you mean something hit my wife? Because like, obviously this is a time where we don't have just cell phones that we can text your husband and be like, hey,
are you okay?
I'm going to the hospital. Something hit me. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't fucking know.
Totally.
What a strange time it would be to have lived during that time. So Eugene gets to his house, and the first thing that he says is it was just insane with police and press everywhere. He said they were all over the front yard. They were even on the porch of the house, and he had to physically like push people out of his way to get into his front door.
Oh my God.
Because there were so many people just like looking in the windows of the house.
trying to get info or whatever.
And he said that people were like, hey, who's this guy like pushing us? And he's like, I fucking live here. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, okay, I guess you can go through.
I'm the one who has a legal right to be here.
Yeah. So Eugene walks into the house, and Anne is laying down, and her mom and like a few other people are kind of standing around her at this point. And Anne tells her husband, oh, there's been some excitement at the house today. And she's like, you know, she's in good spirits or whatever. And at this point, no one really knew what exactly it was that fell through the roof and hit Anne. But like I said earlier, it had been seen traveling through the sky for miles. 3 different states saw this thing shooting through the sky. So they knew it wasn't just a rock that some kids were throwing on the roof. The initial theory was that it was a piece of an airplane that was like breaking off as it was going down and then ultimately crashed, which is what the explosion was. Everyone heard.
Well, you've said at first people thought it had to have been a plane crash.
Yeah, because like what else, honestly, like what else is the first thing that you're going to think of?
Yeah,
like it's an airplane.
Yeah, totally.
So that's literally what everyone thought it was. The police had immediately grabbed the object that hit Anne and they took it away because they wanted to do some tests on it to determine what it actually was. And Anne was just kind of left there dealing with the media, calling her home every 5 seconds because everyone is like, oh my God, there's this woman. She got hit by a piece of an airplane. Like, that's fucking insane. But although she was hurt and she did get hit in the actual body.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go to the hospital that day that she actually did get hit by the object. But the next day, you know, she couldn't sleep all night. She was in so much pain from this like bruise that was forming on her abdomen. So Eugene did take her to the hospital the next day.
Yeah, good. Because, sorry, if you get hit by a flying object, you should probably go to the hospital.
Do you want to see the picture of this bruise?
Ugh, yes. I'm scared, but I do want to.
Literally insane. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, my God.
It's huge.
It's huge and it's so dark.
It's so dark. It's so huge. It's like directly on the side, kind of like lower stomach area.
Yeah, it's like right on her left hip.
Yeah. And
we'll have this on Instagram and
YouTube. Yeah. But it is very dark, this bruise.
That's not a bruise you can get from like falling or okay. So I am the queen of I have like no spatial awareness.
No.
So I hit things with my hip and with my elbows all of the time.
Literally same.
Like all the time I'll be like, what is this hit? What is this weird bruise on my hip or like on my leg
everywhere?
And then I'll realize, it's the exact same height as like my end table or whatever.
Yeah.
I just like bump into things constantly.
Yeah.
Like that is not a bruise you get accidentally. That's a bruise you get after like severe trauma.
Yeah.
Like severe trauma.
Yeah. And she wouldn't go to the hospital, by the way, that whole first day. And that was forming on her body.
I love you. You're not tough because you don't go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Because that type of bruise causes blood clots and shit and makes you die.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But luckily, after the next day, when Eugene finally did take her to the hospital, they examined her. They ran all the tests, and they found out that this bruise was not life-threatening or anything.
Okay,
so they were like, okay, we're good. What I do find extremely crazy about this situation, though, is like that bruise, like you saw how fucking gnarly it is, right?
Yeah, it's horrifying.
And then
there's a hole in their house.
This is what I'm saying. There's a hole in their house, a hole in their fucking roof. So this thing, which was seen 3 states traveling through the sky, you know it's coming fast.
Yeah.
The fact that this bitch, all she got was a bruise from whatever fell through her roof, that's crazy.
Well, my question was going to be, do people believe her?
Yes, everyone believes her.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the evidence is there.
Sorry, the way that you like started that sentence, I was like, I thought you were about to be like, and nobody believes her.
I'm saying I don't understand how it's possible that all she got was a bruise, because so many people witnessed this thing. They said it was a fireball flying through the sky. They see an explosion. They hear an explosion from miles away, and all she got was a bruise.
I mean, it's a bad bruise.
It is a bad bruise, but it just seems like it would have been so much worse. Like it should have been so much worse.
I mean, but we've heard stories about people who their parachutes didn't go off and they just land and have like one broken bone.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like bodies are crazy.
I know. We've said it before.
Bodies
say
are
it again.
crazy. Like literally sometimes you'll like fall over and hit your head barely and die like immediately. Yeah. And then sometimes you'll like get shot 10 times and live.
No, that's so true.
Bodies are so fucking scary and crazy.
Yeah, it really is wild.
They're so crazy.
So the police end up confiscating this object, like I said, and they bring it to the Maxwell Air Force because this is a time where there were like a lot of threats of a nuclear war, and also there was like a lot of flying saucer rumors going around. Yeah. So they were like, okay, we really have to figure out exactly what we're dealing with here because we have no idea what this thing could be. However, when they did take it away from Anne, they promised that they would return it to her once they figured out exactly what it was.
Okay.
And pretty quickly, they were able to determine that this was a meteorite that fell to Earth from the sky.
Okay, makes sense.
So we have talked about on this podcast before, like people being struck by lightning multiple times, which obviously has crazy odds, you know, of that happening to you even once in a lifetime, let alone multiple times. But getting struck by a falling meteorite is obviously like even way more rare than that.
And living to tell the tale.
Living to tell the tale is even more rare. So 17,000 meteorites fall to the Earth's surface every single year. The odds of being hit and killed by a meteorite is 1 in 1,600,000.
Okay.
Which is like a lot, obviously. And there's not even a number that I could give you of odds that are getting hit by one and living to tell about it. So she's literally like 1 in infinite amount.
Yeah.
An astronomer named Michael Reynolds said, "You have a better chance of getting hit by a tornado, a bolt of lightning, and a hurricane all at the same time."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy. And then a little synchronicity to this. The Hodges house was right across the street from a drive-in movie theater. And guess what that theater was called?
The Lightning Theater or something?
The Comet.
The Comet. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so now that we know that Anne is totally fine, she's good, she's just a little banged up and a little bruised, but she did ultimately survive getting hit by this meteorite, which is crazy. But nobody was expecting that like so many people would end up wanting to keep this space rock and that a legal battle would soon take place for who actually owned the rights to this piece of meteor.
Oh, boy.
So the Hodges, they didn't own their home. They rented it from a woman that lived across the street. Her name was Birdie Guy.
Same girl.
Listen, we love a renter. But because she owned the home and she like owned the whole property around it, she felt like she was the rightful owner of this meteorite.
Oh, boy. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Literally, like that's crazy, right?
You didn't get hit by it. Fuck you, Birdie.
Exactly. So Anne's like, whoa. The meteor belongs to me. And she even said, and I quote, "God intended it to hit me. After all, it hit me." And then Eugene said that he remembered Anne said that if Birdie wants it so bad, she wishes that it hit her instead.
Okay,
like,
then throw it at her head and see
girl,
who lives.
This bitch had a fucking big ass bruise on her body. It hit her. It belongs to her. It doesn't belong to you, honey. Fucking
you can't steal other people's trauma.
What is it? An HOA or whatever?
Well, we hate landlords.
Yeah, landlords.
We like my landlord, and that's the only landlord we like because she's
Literally.
like the only normal person on the planet.
Exactly. So Birdie and the Hodges, they end up in a year-long legal battle to determine who this meteorite actually belongs to. But the whole time that this like custody battle is happening, if that's what you want to call it, the Air Force kept possession of the meteor because they were like, listen, we don't know what this is. We're trying to make sure.
We're the government. We're evil.
Exactly. The Hodges, they did have plans to sell this because they were not wealthy by any means. And obviously, like, Anne had this fucking traumatic experience happen to her. So, yeah, I think she deserves to get a little money off of this.
I would sell that immediately for cash.
This bitch got hit by a meteor. I think she deserves a little cha-ching,
Yeah.
bling,
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 bling.
bling.
So tons of people were hitting up the Hodges or offering a lot of money for it, but they couldn't accept any of the offers because of the stupid court case that Birdie Guy was forcing them into. Fuck you, Birdie Guy. Another guy in town, however, did get extremely lucky in this case.
He also got hit?
Well, no, but this was a farmer. His name was Julius Kempis McKinney, and he was just kind of like walking around, bopping around the next day, and he found a second piece of the meteorite.
I was going to say there has to be more.
Yeah. And I don't even know if it was on his property or not, but he was like finders, keepers, losers, weepers. And he ends up just immediately contacting the Smithsonian Institution. And we don't know the exact number that he ends up selling this piece for, but he was able to purchase a brand new car and a brand new house.
Good for him.
With the money that he received.
Yeah, good for him.
So it was clearly a lot of money.
Yeah, as you should.
Unfortunately, that is not the outcome that the Hodges got. So this is where things for Anne and Eugene really kind of start to go downhill pretty quickly. So they ended up, after the full year of the legal battle, they settled in court with Birdie Guy, and they had to pay her $500 for them to keep the meteor that hit Anne's body, which is like insane.
Birdie Guy, you're a terrible person.
Yeah, like you fucking suck. And since it's been a whole year, along with the bad press of the court case that they had to deal with, the media frenzy had really like died down by this point when they were done with everything.
Yeah.
And they didn't really give a shit about it anymore. That farmer, Julius, he had jumped on this, within days.
Mm-hmm.
And now no one really cares about buying this meteor anymore, which I think is a little weird because there's a piece that hit Anne's body and then there's the piece that was just like there. And you would think that the piece that hit Anne's body was still going to be worth money.
Yeah, it would be, like more important.
But it just wasn't. And now they're just kind of stuck with this piece of meteor in their house. Like they lost
that
money.
They paid $500 for.
They lost money on this case because they had to pay Birdie. Like it's crazy.
Man, I hate this bitch.
I know. Fuck you, Birdie. So Anne, she had also gone on the hit TV show at the time called I've Got a Secret. And in this show, you can win money if like one of the celebrity judges doesn't guess your secret after a certain amount of guesses. Like you win a certain amount of money every time someone doesn't guess it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And obviously her secret is she got hit by a meteorite. So her and Eugene are like, okay, well, maybe if you go on this show, you can win some money during this horrible year because we're in this court case and all this shit. But unfortunately, to everyone's surprise, one of the lady judges, the celebrity, ends up guessing her secret within like 2 to 3 questions.
What? How?
Because you want to know why?
Why?
Because this was like only months after the incident.
Oh,
and Anne Hodges' face is everywhere.
Yeah, she's
so,
still
like,
famous.
Everyone knows who she is. Like they should have done this years later.
No,
you know what I mean?
Makes sense. That
She's
totally
on
makes
magazine
sense.
covers.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, obviously someone's gonna fucking know who you are.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the host was so shocked that this person guessed it so quickly. Like I watched the video and it's really awkward. They're like, whoa, how did you know that? And they felt so bad that they guessed it so quickly that they ended up just letting her keep the $80 that she like already
80?
Yeah. Because she would have won like hundreds, if not like close to $1,000.
What year is this?
Like 1950 something.
Oh, okay. At least $80. Yeah. I was gonna say $80 now is like one Uber Eats of McDonald's.
Literally. This is what Cassidy spends nightly on Uber Eats. But yeah, they let her keep it because they felt so bad and it was so awkward and uncomfortable.
God, that's awkward. Yeah, that is awkward.
2 years later, in 1956, Anne ended up donating the meteorite to the Alabama Museum of Natural History.
Good for her.
And they sent her back a check for $25. And they said, you and your husband enjoy a free meal on us.
Oh my God. Not even a good meal.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, back then, maybe.
Listen.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But Eugene, he was really not happy that Anne donated the meteorite. So this started to cause like a deterioration in their relationship.
Oh, they get divorced?
It's not great. It's not great. So Anne's mental health starts to kind of like go on the decline. It's getting worse and worse. She has really bad social anxiety and she suffers from severe PTSD. And if you actually watch the clip from the TV show, which you can find on YouTube, she's very shy. She's very soft-spoken. And she seems like really nervous and uncomfortable.
Imagine you go to bed.
Yeah.
Go for a nap and something fucking hits you and almost kills you.
And it's a meteorite.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, that would give you PTSD,
genuinely,
of course.
Because, like, think about it. If she would have gotten hit in the head, she would have died.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter, like, how silly it is. It's a little silly because it's a meteorite that's like
because it's literally
silly.
One in however many.
Yeah, but like, hello, if she would have put her head at the other end of the bed, she might have died.
It's
like,
so true.
There's literally anything.
Yeah,
that's so scary.
Absolutely. So Anne and Eugene, they ended up divorcing in 1964. And then, this is really sad, Anne ends up dying from kidney failure in a nursing home only 8 years later on September 10th, 1972, at the age of 52.
Oh, that's so sad.
So she's super fucking young.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the meteor situation had anything to do with like escalating this death or not, but it is crazy that she survived that and then still ended up dying so young.
Yeah, I agree.
So kind of not a very happy ending to this story, but she is still the only person to have like actually been hit by a meteorite and survived it. Although in 1992, a little boy in Uganda was allegedly hit on top of the head with like a very, very tiny little pebble of a meteorite during like a meteor shower.
Not the same. Yeah.
But yeah, not quite the same. So she's like the only person that's really been hit by a meteorite.
Wow. That is so crazy.
I have so many photos of the meteorite too. I want to show you how big it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like big.
It was huge.
Like, look at that.
It was like the size of...
It's the size of a baby's head. It's bigger than that baby's head.
It's like the size of a, like half of a bowling ball.
Yeah, that's Anne with it in her hand.
She's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you, bitch. You ruined my life.
Dang, that's crazy.
Like, it literally, and like Anne and Eugene, that's her again in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Anne and Eugene both said that it like, this whole situation basically ruined their entire life. Like, it ruined their marriage.
Yeah, it seems like it.
The fame ruined her life. Like, it just, it wasn't great.
That's too bad.
And it is too bad because it's like, she went down in history as this woman, the only person to get hit with a meteorite and survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of ruined her fucking life anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the
To
story.
be a woman.
To be a woman. That's the story of Anne Hodges and the meteorite.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew about that story, but I didn't know how bad it was for her after. That's really insane.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's really sad because, like I said,
really sad.
You hear about it and you're like, holy shit, this woman survived getting hit by a meteorite. That's crazy. And then all this like kind of bad shit ends up happening to her and she wasn't happy about it. And, you know, the fame and the press and everything really fucked with her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, and she didn't even get to sell it for money.
No, and she didn't even get any money. This other random dude that found a piece ended up getting the car and the house. And like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, how about we round this out with a listener story?
Please.
Please. Let's calm Amanda down. So this is from Marissa.
Hello, Marissa.
And Marissa says, my husband and I love to listen to you guys.
Thank
you both
you.
do an awesome job of telling these stories. We make it a ritual of ours to listen to your podcast while we play video games side by side.
Cute.
I love that. That's so cute.
Wait, I love that.
My spooky story is that my family has a history of seeing our family members who have passed away in their dreams just to send them a little message.
My favorite.
It's Amanda's favorite. Once my grandma had a house fire and my deceased grandfather told her in a dream where the insurance documents and the money were kept.
Oh, shit.
When she told the fire department this, they managed to find the insurance documents and the money completely intact. That helped her get a start on a brand new house and receive money for the one that burned down.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty good.
That is really good.
In other instances, my mother inherited my great-grandmother's wedding ring that had been passed down for decades. My husband, before we were married, asked her if she would pass it down to me so he could propose to me. So cute.
I love it.
And it would become my wedding ring. At first, she said no.
Iconic.
That was the only thing she had inherited from my great-grandmother. Relevant to the story, when I was young and this great-grandma was losing her memory, she, for some reason, always remembered who I was, and she would always ask to hold a place for me in family pictures. After my husband asked for the ring and my mom said no, she said that she went to sleep and saw my great-grandma, who told her she wanted that ring passed down to me.
Okay. In the mother's defense, I also support not giving a family heirloom to your son to give to a woman that's not in the family.
No, it's not the son.
Oh, it's not the son.
It's she's in the family.
Oh, she's in the family. Okay, never
It
mind.
would be like if your mom gave a ring to Sam to give to you, which
she
is
did.
what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like the other way around. Like if like
No.
my mom gave my brother a ring to give to.
No.
Okay.
The opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. So she said she went to sleep, saw my great grandmother
Got it.
see,
Okay, that makes more sense.
who told her that she wanted to pass the ring down to me. She told my husband this and gave him the ring, and it's been my wedding ring ever since. Not super spooky, but definitely interesting and unusual.
Yeah.
We look forward to listening to you guys every week, and we love more episodes.
Because if it's in the family, then it's in the family. So you're good.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't know. To me, I see it both sides. Like, because if you are, like, I have 5 brothers. If you only have sons, like, the ring has to go down somewhere.
No,
That's
I
still
get
your
it.
brother's. Or that's still your son's wife.
No, I get it. But I think the thing that I understand the other side where they're like, okay, well, what if something happens?
Then who do you give it to?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Someone in the family.
I'm sorry. Get better at being married. That's not my fault.
I mean, that's fair.
Some of us want to actually do it forever, and some people are liars. As someone who wants to do it forever.
And you will.
But thank you so much for sending that in. And yeah, that's like amazing. I love that you have like this whole history of your deceased relatives coming and
Yeah.
being like, hey, no, actually, this is cool. Psst, 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 psst. This is actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
And if you would like to send a story in, you can do that at dtkpod.com/contact. You can also email us or direct message us on Patreon if you are one of our cool kids. But most importantly, make sure you keep that front door locked.
Make sure you keep your mind open.
And keep drinking the Kool-Aid.